anywhere, that's anytime, you can still get pills. I'm aiming for wigs, so I'm aiming to kill. Set up in the men's, don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law, niggas no CP. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my teeth. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Ask the ops how that spin the sounds. When I spin the bangs, try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's money.
Salute to you all. You got in the building. Mike. Drop a link, Mike, if you want to get on, you're more than welcome, mate. You know that. I'll send you one anyway, in case you do want to get on. Can you hear me at all? Rob Sportsman Lee, salute. If you want to get on, Rob, you're welcome. Send Mike this link. Salute to you, Rob. War Report. Salute to you, odd fella. If anyone wants to get on, you're more than welcome. Right, I'm going to rip through trailers. What's fire? Can you hear me at all? If you can, just Mike, if you want to get on, you're welcome, or anyone else. But I'm going to rip through this. Just starting with, this isn't a dig at Conor, Benn, or saying that the lad can't fight or anything. What I'm going in at is today that this guy has been loud and clear. Yeah, salute. All right, cool. What I'm going in at today is I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Christopher Jeanette, salute. Nitty G, salute to you. Yeah, you're welcome, Rob. You'll have to... Mike, drop the link in the chat if you can, mate, because Mike knows how to do it. I don't know how to do it, and you're more than welcome to get on. There's a couple of topics what I want to cover. Starting with Conor, Benn, and his fight from last week, and how he's making out now that he's a pay-per-view star and all this BS. And then I want to talk about Andrade's fight last night, and then finish up with a few up-and-coming fights. Kenneth Johnson, salute to you, brother. Mike, can you drop us the link in the chat, mate? Because if Rob wants to get on, or if you want to get on, or anyone else, you're more than welcome. So, right, first of all, I just want to play a quick clip of...
what a win. How do you assess your performance?
It was great. I mean, I went in there, got him out of there, and, I told you guys, I would not be surprised if it don't go past one round. You got to remember, he's been in with the best fighters of our generation. He's been in with the top dogs. I ain't done to him what I've done to him. No one done to Quibbler what I've done to him. I beat Formella at his game. I outboxed the boxer. And I outfought a fighter tonight. And he was ready. He was in unbelievable shape.
Have you put the welterweight division on notice with a performance like that?
I put the welterweight division on notice when I beat Formella, who was former IBO world champion. I put it on.
What's good, Mike?
What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. You?
Oh, man, just chilling like a villain, just bicking back and being booed.
Yeah. Right, Mike, this isn't a dig at Conor Benn, right? Where I'm going with this is, right, there's nothing wrong with... he beat that... oh, God, who was it? Who he beat last week? He's gone off the top of my head.
Formula?
That who? No, not Formella. Who he beat last week?
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Well, whoever it was, Samuel Vargas, wasn't it, who he beat? He destroyed him in a few seconds of the first round. But what I'm saying, Mike, is since he beat him, right, he's come out and said he wants to fight Amir Khan and all this stuff. Give me a proper test and all this bullshit. But the thing is, right, Mike, the way out now, I've been arguing with these guys on these boxing channels about like saying he's the next best thing and all stuff like this. The thing is, Mike, he hasn't beaten anyone. He hasn't beaten anyone to be calling himself a pay-per-view star. Do you know what I mean? That Vargas, right, Mike, had lost 3 of his last 5 fights.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of boxers are just stuck on like, beating somebody that used to have something. You know what I'm saying? Like, a belt or something like that, instead of beating a guy with something, now. But then you go into the lines of who did that person fight to even get that in the first place? So it's always this weird thing that people keep saying ex-world champion and weird way of fighters using other, trying to fight other fighters to solidify themselves in boxing, but by using bad analogies. Because talking about Amir Khan, what does that do? As far as when it comes to, boxing fans or boxing in a whole, and just how you think about it. No, fuck that. Like, let those those are journeymen right now.
Facts.
Let the motherfuckers fight other guys that need a yardstick. But if you want to be great, you got to think past the fucking yardstick. You know what I'm saying? And fight somebody else. There's a lot of fighters out there that I think that need to prove themselves before, in my eyes, before I start getting behind them, because they ain't really fought nobody, and styles make fights too. Sometimes it just might be the wrong style for that person that night, but people need to fight people. Like, nobody knows how good a lot of these boxers are because they ain't fought nobody, and people can say, oh, he looked good on this fight. He could switch it up and he could do this and do that. But against who?
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm trying to say, Mike. I mean, Wavy takes salute to you. He's put Benn has a lot of potential, but still needs to be tested. Same with Marku. Yeah, I totally agree there. I totally agree with that. But what my problem is now, Mike, is the way out that he's getting manufactured now to this next pay-per-view star. He's never won an area belt. He's never won a British belt. He's never won a European. He's never won a Commonwealth. How can you be a pay-per-view star when you've never won anything? Do you see what I'm trying to say? Now, is Eddie Hearn's next Cal Brook? He's another pay-per-view fighter, what they're going to mark as a pay-per-view fighter. And he's coming out now saying he's a pay-per-view star. You're not a pay-per-view star when you've not beaten anyone. He's saying, oh, fair dues. He said, Rob, you're not connected for somehow. Joe Johnson, salute to you, brother. Salute. I totally agree with what Wave Take said. He needs to be tested more, but you can't have 18 fights, right? Go hell and death with that. Was it? I can't think of his name. Was it Pianetta or something? The guy who he fought who knocked him down, and then say, "Oh, I'm a pay-per-view star" and all stuff like this. You can't be a pay-per-view star when you've not won anything. It's the same with Bruce Ghost. Salute to you, brother. Salute, OG. It's the same thing. What I will say. I'm starting. This is the last I'm ever talking about this because I'm becoming like a stuck record, and I don't want to be like that. Some reason I can't connect. Go off and then try again, Rob. If not, I'll drop your email and I'll send you the link. But what I'm trying to say, Mike, is these boxers now, right, mate, they have a handful of fights. Okay, he's got the name of his father, so that's what Eddie is going off it, because he's Nigel Benn's son, and he's beat up a few people, and now you must pay per view for him because he's a pay per view star. He blew away Vargas. Vargas was washed up. I'm sorry, but he was. Formella was nothing. Okay, just because I'm not saying they're nothing, but I mean, they're not like these world beaters. Formella, just because he went the distance with Sean Porter and you stopped him, yeah, it's a credible win, but it's not like, wow, do you know what I mean? It's not like you've gone out there and beat Virgil Ortiz or something like that. You've had 18 fights now and you've got 12 knockouts. Why is he not calling out David Anavician, who stopped Josh Kelly? You don't hear him even talk about him. Why is he not calling out Virgil Ortiz Jr.? He's had less fights than Conor, Benn. And they're virtually the same age. I think Conor's a year older than him. That's what I'm saying. He should be, Mike, fighting someone like Marku or David Anavician. And if he beats them, then go and fight the likes of someone like Virgil Ortiz Jr. That's what he should be doing.
Well, that's the
Rob.
thing. Is like, what's up, Rob? He's going the route of fighting Amir Khan because Amir Khan brings in the dollars, and then these fans that don't know well, that could that solidifies him as somewhat of a pay-per-view star. That's the reason why he's not calling those other guys out.
Yeah, but Mike, that's what I'm saying. It's wrong though, because he isn't a pay-per-view star.
It's not. He's not
beating anyone to be a pay-per-view star.
It's not wrong in the sense of what the fight Amir Khan.
Some feedback, Rob.
Is wrong.
Put your headphones in, bro.
It's wrong in the sense of saying that you telling the fans you're a pay-per-view star and you telling fans to buy this shit. That's what the wrong part about it is.
Yeah. But the wrong part of it, but this is what I'm saying though, Mike. I'm getting backlash off these people in these web pages on Facebook and that, because I'm saying he's not a pay-per-view star, and they're all saying, "No, Marku's not on his level." Why is Marku not on his level? He's never beaten an area champion. He's never beaten a British champion. So what's his level? Salute, Rob. That's what I'm saying, Mike. What's his? Can you hear us, Rob? Yeah, you best plug in some headphones. I can't hardly hear you. You got any earbuds or anything, bro? But that's what I'm saying, Mike. The arrogance of it now is, I'm a pay-per-view star, I'm this and I'm that. You're not a pay-per-view star because you haven't beaten anyone. You're a pay-per-view star because Eddie says you are.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is all of this. They always overinflate people's careers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you see it. You see it. Shakur Stevenson get a decent win. Motherfuckers on his nuts. Boots Innings get a decent win. Everybody on his nuts. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they still, none of those guys really ain't fought nobody yet. Like exactly. nobody gave Shakur Stevenson's opponents the benefit of the doubt. Nobody really, looked at licking nuts like that. Like, who's fucking going around talking about licking nuts? How good and how great he is.
Exactly.
But now all of a sudden, people are on these guys' nuts. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that's fine. But when you talking about pay-per-views, like, you're a fucking boxing fan, first of all. Why the fuck do you even want to pay pay-per-view money to watch a fucking fight? How is that fucking even an argument? You mean to tell me that you want to argue with old laws about who's a pay-per-view star, or who's not, when that don't even concern you? Because why should you want to pay pay-per-view to watch any fight?
But that's what I'm saying, Mike. But that's the problem with boxing. Salute EJ. I'll bring you in a minute, bro. Just let me wrap this bit up. What I want to say, Mike. That is the problem with boxing. Like I say, I'm standing by what I'm saying. He's not a pay-per-view star because he hasn't beat anyone to be a world-class. For me, a pay-per-view star is someone who's a world-class fighter or is a world champion at least. That's a pay-per-view star to me. Or someone who fights dangerous opponents or other champions. Now, that's why I'm saying, Mike, that's the problem with it now. Is Eddie's marketing him, saying that he's this pay-per-view star when he's not.
Nah, Edwards said it, so he is. Fuck it.
That's what I'm saying. What's up, EJ? What have you got to say, bro?
Yo, what's going on? What's getting on, people? What's getting on, people in the chat? Yeah, man. Yeah, nice to have you over. Nice to let me on, Los.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime, brother.
Yeah. My take on the whole thing, boxing's changed now, yeah. And in the criteria when it regards to the UK, British, Commonwealth, and European, they don't do that. The reason why, if you look at the landscape of why people don't do the traditional route, is because you know them international belts like the WBO International, WBC, Silver, Diamond, or nothing. They pay more money. They pay more money straight off the bat. Like, you know, when you're wearing the British and Commonwealth, you're not really earning no money. It's more like prestige than a kind of legacy thing. You know, to say you're the best in, you know, with the Commonwealth means, I mean, really the Commonwealth is Jamaica, Canada, you know, the countries, what the Queen, what's it called? Colonized, right? The colonized country, Ghana and some other countries, maybe not Ghana actually. Former colonized, right? It used to be called the Empire's belt, right? So that's with the Commonwealth, with the British belt, when you get it, it means you're the best in Britain. But what does that really mean? You know what I mean? And the European, you know, the European thing is like, who wants to be the best of Scandinavia when no one even goes there? So what's happening is now is that all these international belts have come in and they're taking over that, and it's more money. And what we're talking about is the ranking. So you're basically talking about, so you're basically saying Conor Benn should say he's the best in England to earn the right to fight the best in the world, right? But with them international belts, as you've seen with the WBA International that I think he's got, he's already fighting someone on the world, and he's ranked number 10. So basically, what they're doing now with all the promoters are doing it is like they can't be sitting there building these guys because the network wants ratings and the network wants world champions. So they get ranked when they fight for the international belts. Now, this is why he fought this guy at the end of his thing, and it's the opponents you put out, Annalisian and Marku. The reason why he won't fight them is because of the potential he could lose. And you know, and I know that, right? But this is the boxing at the highest level, and it's like you keep the guy winning for the casuals, then he can make money. Now, Conor Benn is marketed in 3 different countries: Australia, where he grew up, right? No, Australia, Spain, where he grew up. Obviously, England, Spain, Australia, and Spain, Australia, and England, right? Now he's got a young crowd. Now a lot of them, they all tune in to see the numbers do pretty well. If you do a Conor Benn video, it does pretty well. Even when you criticize him, it does pretty well, right? So what's happening with them in terms of market? They'll pay the money. Now, if you ask me, do you think is he pay-per-view? For me, pay-per-view is always going to be about your darts partner, whoever you're fighting. Obviously, the last fight wasn't pay-per-view, right? It was just regular TV. But if he fights a better caliber of fighter, let's say, okay, Adrian Broner. Now, I'll ask you, right? Now, in America, I can imagine what the Americans are going to say, so I can't talk for them. But if they bring Adrian Broner over against Conor Benn, now I want you to answer, Lossie, because you're from the UK. Do you think that's worthy as a pay-per-view?
If he fights Broner over here?
Yeah, over here. Do you think,
that's a pay-per-view fight,
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to say to you. And then that's what they're gonna get. They're gonna
fight.
That's what they're gonna gear it towards them type of guys. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's not gonna go in against live dogs. He's gonna go against guys who are almost at the end of their tail or almost done. And that's where Conor Benn's gonna fight, because they're gonna build him on what my man, what's his name again? My man, Ragamuffin says Nigel, not Nigel Ben, Lloyd Hunnigan. I talked to Lloyd Hunnigan. It goes. They're bringing stiffs, they're bringing the stiffs out the grave. You know what I'm saying? It was almost digging up a dead body and laying him out there. So he's saying, yeah, there's bigger the stiffs. So that's what Conor Benn's going to be feasting on, stiffs. But they're going to be dust enough. The eyes going to be blinking dust enough for them to do something. You know what I mean? Because Adrian Broner is not Adrian Broner no more. So if you look at it right now, most people think, well, I don't know. Adrian should be able to beat him, and it will cause enough interest, especially when Adrian Broner talks that call pay-per-view. So when you're talking about pay-per-view numbers, you're talking about the dance partner. You know what I mean? If you're talking about him by himself. Right, and Conor Benn's quite entertaining after the fight. It looked like he was going to terrorize Eddie Hearn because Eddie Hearn didn't believe in him. I mean, that was funny in itself, right? But if you're talking about marketing, if he gets a good darts partner, that's what's going to happen. Now, if you look at Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua, right, their first fight, British. Now, this is the thing, right? And a lot of people criticize this. Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, that first fight, where they've only had one fight in it, that fight was pay-per-view, and people were pissed off. But now, looking in retrospect, it was a good idea. Now, one of the ones that didn't go well, Tony Bellew versus Nathan Cleverly. That wasn't pay-per-view, but what people were paying for was the entertainment. Yeah, but listen to this, right? This is what pay-per-view is about these days. It's not necessarily the boxing. It's about how people act and react towards each other. You understand? It's like, when Derek Chisora went against Dillian Whyte, not the first one was on pay-per-view, but the second one, they made it pay-per-view because they're going to throw tables and chairs at each other. So what we're marketing on is WWE wrestling or WWF, right? That's what we're on. If you look at Conor Benn, he runs his mouth, he talks slack, so he gets people either on him or against him, and that's what causes the friction. Look at the numbers. And when you look at the numbers on his fights, right? You put them on YouTube, whatever. The numbers do well. That translates in why they think they should do pay-per-view, but you need a dance partner. So if you think like him by himself, you think it's pay-per-view? No. But then is he gonna go against a guy worthy of a challenge? Yeah. Then people might pay. Now the last one wasn't pay-per-view, so until he's pay-per-view, we can critique. Yeah, and fair play to you. Bringing up the platform. So is he pay-per-view? Because I actually looked at it as well. It's like I don't think he is, but I know that if you can bring a guy like Adrian Broner over, you can't go backwards, especially if he beats Adrian Broner, and you can't go backwards at that point. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you. At a minute, I'd agree with you, but in terms of regard of the British and Commonwealth, it's dead. They don't do that no more. I'm telling you, all of them do. Right? The only reason why Frank Warren probably does it is because Frank Warren's got the WBO, and notice if you're with Frank Warren, you get a WBO shot. Daniel Dubois fight. I think he's fighting for the interim WBA straight away. So, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, they pull their powers. And also, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn recently on the weekend, because Liam Smith against Dimitri Andrade, they work together. Well, not really Frank and Eddie, who's more or less Francis, his son. So it looks like Queensbury and Matchroom are trying to sort things out. Obviously, they're going to work together for the Fury and AJ fight. Hopefully we're going to see June, July, maybe, right? So, things are working together that the British promoters realize there's enough money in the pot for people to work. But I wouldn't get too bothered about Conor Benn being a pay-per-view unless he's fighting a decent guy. But the guys you've mentioned, to me, fair, Marco, I don't like, people talk about his numbers, but I don't rate him. And Annishin, brother, like, you see, he needs a dartsing partner himself. You see what I'm saying? Them guys are dangerous guys, yeah? And if you don't need to fight them, why do you fight them? You know what I'm saying? So this is not the game where, the tough fights the tough no more. It doesn't do like that. What they do,
I know.
Yeah, it's all about, if you look on an aspect of numbers and wrestling, where people talk shit at the press conference, and that's where the pay-per-views market at. The fight comes secondary to the entertainment. So that's more or less my take on it.
Yeah, that's a good point. What you're saying, yeah, because I am old school, so I like you say, I follow the old traditional way of being British, European, and Commonwealth. But obviously, times move on. I agree with you there. But like I say, bro, if that's the case, which it is the case, you can't tell me, EJ, that if he fights Amir Khan and that's pay-per-view, that's a pay. Well, I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying
Amir Khan.
No, what I'm saying, bro. If he fights Amir Khan, next, what I'm saying to you, bro, that's bullshit. That's not a pay-per-view fight.
All right, let's look at that. All right, let's look at it like this. Yeah, has Amir Khan been pay-per-view?
Yeah, he has. But what I'm saying, bro,
If Amir Khan's been pay-per-view, right? Now, I'm not saying me and you. I'm just putting this. If Amir Khan's been pay-per-view, is Amir Khan a guy that most people can't stand? They love seeing him get knocked out.
It depends, really.
The people love seeing Amir Khan get knocked out. Yes or no?
It depends because I thought,
you know, all right. Let's say that. All right, let's
so.
defend that. But what I'm saying is that there's a majority of people in England, right? In England
Yeah.
and other countries, especially America, they love seeing Kong, you know, do a dance, right? So what I'm saying is that when it comes regards to that he pisses people that much off, and maybe they want to see Conor Benn get a spanking, they'll pay. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's going to be a great fight. But what I'm saying is that in entertainment, that you know the prospect of Amir Khan getting knocked out again, people will pay because they can't stand him. And that's where this is where I'm trying to say to you that when you look at pay-per-view, you look at what they've done, and he's a pay-per-view star before, isn't it? Amir Khan, he's done pay-per-views before and done pretty good numbers. So remember again, and who's buying it? It's not necessarily me and you, right? And this is what I understand from your point of view, and you're saying I wouldn't pay for it, fine. But he's got all them Indian people who pay for it, right? And then Ken Conor Brenn's got the Australian people again, and he's got the people from Spain. They're the ones who are going to really pay for the pay-per-view. You see what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily me or you. You got to look on the demographic outside us in the UK. So that's why, you know, the numbers do well, you know. And so I wouldn't necessarily think I'd pay for it because I stream most fights anyway. But I'm not going to argue the fact that some guy from bloody Spain who loves Conor Benn from his young, and they're going to go and pay for it. That's how it works. You get me? So it's a member of boxing's a business all about the prize and the money. The prize is the money. If you got people dumb enough to put them in their pocket to pay for it, that's what they're going to do. And that's why I'm saying that, you know, but boxing becomes boxing at a light where you're like, I don't understand that. But if you look at Amir Khan, he sells numbers to Asian. Like, remember, there's no kind of Asian boxing guy before Amir Khan, really. There was another guy called Harry Dami and another guy called, I can't remember, there's even Prince Patel, but he's not pay-per-view. But Amir Khan's like the biggest number, and I think he's got some numbers in America as well. People would pay. I'm not saying they would pay pay-per-view because he obviously over here UK, but they would pay for it, and that's it. And then maybe that fight goes on the zone, and where you know, you got subscription based, but you know, is it pay-per-view? Not for me, but pay-per-view for their fan base, absolutely. And that's where I'm at the minute. But anyway, Lossy, I'll leave you guys to chop it up. Yo, big up to you guys in the chat. Wait, always sub to my man Lossy, man. Always brings the best content, yeah. And we we'll catch up to you, man. Yeah, man. Take care, bro.
Nice one, EJ. Peace to you, brother.
Peace out. Peace out.
Peace,
bro. That's the reason why boxing, in my opinion, is the way it is right now. This is where boxing is right now. This is the shit right here. You know, I don't give a damn about Amir Khan coming back and fight anybody for pay-per-view, and yeah, he might have fans across the world and stuff like that, but they're not going to be around the next day. And we all know that boxing is a business, but if you're not bringing in the fans, you know what I'm saying, it hinders other fights. And and one of the best ways to get the outreach is to put the fight on free TV. That way, or subscription based. That way you reach a broader audience. You know what I'm saying? To keep people captivated and around. So the next day when you turn on boxing, you're not seeing a bum of the month card and all this other stuff because not enough people are watching boxing. See what I'm saying? You keep putting on fights, Conor Benn versus fucking Amir Khan. You keep doing shit like that, you're going to keep losing fans.
Exactly, Mike. That's what I'm talking about, mate. Mike. You nailed it. EJ's right. What he's saying, like the way how the pay-per-view is marketed now and boxing's changed. He's right. What he's saying there, but you're also right. What you're saying, if you're getting these bum-bash fighters, and just because Eddie says he's a pay-per-view and he's fighting these stiffs, and people go along with it, these people like that are allowing the pay-per-view to people like Sky and Matchroom to get away with it. There's some great comments before. Mike 202, what did he put? He put Khan is not. No, where did he put it before? He put something about him not being a pay-per-view star. I agree.
I clicked the wrong button, Laws. My bad.
Yeah, you're all right, bro. Mickey Dubs put. Just one sec, Mike. Just let me read these quick. Mickey Dubs put Khan is doing reality TV now, so he's already looking for a career move. He's done with boxing. Yeah, good point. Mike 202's put, we're not paying for Man Khan anymore. That's what I mean. But Mike, that's what I'm saying, bro. For me, EJ's right what he was saying. The whole pay-per-view has shifted now. It's the way how they're marketed. But like you say, I won't pay for that because I think I just think, with all due respect to Conor Benn, I think, with all due respect to Amir Khan, I think he's shot to pieces. Ancestral Rage, salute to you, brother. I think he should fight people like Marku or like David Anavicent because I think, but like, you see me, the reason why I'm on this subject, Mike, I'm going to flip the subject a minute. I suppose I'm old school, right? If I was a boxer and someone's calling me out, continuously calling you out for over a year, I'd have to pay to him. I'd have to sort him out. I'd have to. It's just the way how I was brought up. I couldn't have someone calling me out, and because that to me is just, it's ducking. But people are saying to me over here, he's not on the same level as Conor Benn. What is Conor Benn's level though? He hasn't won anything. He hasn't beaten anybody who's of that level. So why can't he fight him? But like I say, why does he not call out Virgil Ortiz Jr.? You don't hear him talking about that. I mean, I watched a great interview with Sean Porter the other day, what he did with Sky. Porter basically was saying, in a nice way, don't get ahead of yourself. Just because you've beaten a few people, don't mean, you know what I mean? Don't jump ahead of yourself. But when you've got blokes who are continuously calling you out all the time, I mean,
I hear the name of this guy Conor Benn. You know, I respect him, but I don't care. I want to fight him. I want to beat him. Him and all the other guys that they are on my division. Boxing is not like dancing. You know, you don't dance. I want to beat people, and I want to beat Conor Benn and who are in this division.
Do you believe if the fight was made now that you stop Conor Benn?
Tomorrow. Yeah, 100%.
He's been like that, Mike, for over a year, mate.
I mean,
over a year.
Yeah, I understand that, Laws, but you know, if I was a fighter, I wouldn't give a damn who called me out. You know, I seriously wouldn't. I seriously wouldn't. Yeah, but I damn for sure would be trying to fight the fights that are in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like the right fights that are in front of me. You know what I'm saying? And is that a right fight for him? Yeah. But
I think so.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I keep trying to tell folks. Where did these guys learn the business of boxing at? Who are they learning it from? You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, if you're not talking about fighting stiff competition at a young age in your boxing career, right? Then obviously you're more worried about ticket sales and pay-per-view than actually solidifying yourself as one of the best. You see what I'm saying? And these guys are going to keep doing that because look who they learned it from. Look who they learned it from. They're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, tricking fans into believing that believing that whatever they selling, you should buy. I don't give a damn who's a fucking pay-per-view star. I don't give a fuck why a fight is pay-per-view. Really, to tell you the truth, I don't want to buy a pay-per-view fight. I don't care for buying pay-per-view fights. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I care about is turning on the TV and watching the fights that I want to see. You know, because at the end of the day, these guys have got some of these boxers have got the game totally fucking fucked up. Totally fucked up. And they're gonna keep doing this dumb shit. This dumb, look at my Instagram followers and all this shit. I don't give a fuck about no build-ups to fights. I don't give a fuck about all that shit. Only thing I care about turning on the TV and being entertained with boxing. And I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna keep reiterating this. If a young guy is already talking about pay-per-view, being a pay-per-view star, and ain't gave nobody no type of good free fight on TV, right? To sell his name, right? Don't blame the fighter. Blame whoever taught him that mess. Because obviously,
That's
Edward and Oscar and all these other weirdos, they whispering into these young guys' ears, and they don't know no better. Later on in life, they gonna know that they fucked up, that they could have become a so-called pay-per-view star or a big star in boxing or a big draw in boxing by just fighting the right fight. Bring fans back into boxing. Bring fans back to boxing by putting on quality fights every weekend instead of every now and again.
Exactly, Mike. Facts, bro. That's all I'm trying to say, bro. Same thing. To wrap it up, because I want to move on different subjects, but you're absolutely bang on, Mike. That's all I'm trying to say. Do the fans a justice. At least go and fight someone who's worthy of a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Not someone who's either shot to pieces or who's a stiff or is washed up. You know, that's what I'm saying. Go and challenge someone. Go and challenge someone. Like I said to the OG the other day, you ain't a baby no more. You've had 18 fights. Sheldon Holmes, salute, brother. What's up with you? Hope you're good out there. That's exactly what I'm saying, Mike, what you're saying. But because of these casuals who were saying, nah, it's a good fight. Amir Khan's a good test. But no, it's fucking not. He'll beat the dog shit out of Amir Khan. I know it. You know it. Amir Khan's washed up. I'm sorry, but he is. No disrespect to you, Khan, but yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say. To wrap it up, Mike, same thing as you. Go and fight a quality fighter and make pay-per-view quality again, not by fucking beating up stiffs. Right, Mike, I want to talk.
Hold up now. Let me say one more thing. Hold up. Catch your ass. Right?
You're not about caught my ass. Caught my ass what?
I'm just messing with you.
All
right. No, so it's kind of like, you know, as if we can see it as fans, like, I don't know what the hell they're saying. Like, let's say, for instance, Laws came out with a fucking a new invention for a better fucking tire. You know what I'm saying? It lasts longer, grips the road better, all that stuff, right? He's giving the consumers. He has the ability to give the consumers exactly what they want, right? But how do you market it? You know what I'm saying? Because if you come out and just market it at too high of a price, how are you gonna get the word around that you got good ass tires? When nobody knows your name, when nobody knows Laws these tires, but everybody know Pirelli and all these Goodrich and all these other companies. How do you get somebody to know your name when you got a good product?
Exactly. That's what I mean, mate. That's what I mean. To be the best, you've got to beat the best. That's what I say. BBG, salute to you, brother. Right, Michael, let's flip the subject now, mate. So I want to rip through these two things quick. Last night's fight, what did you think of that, bro?
It was good on Andrade part, but you know, like I say, you know, that night they was competing with Triller and their antics, and Demetrius Andrade gets up in the ring, and after the fight fails to even make a highlight, because there's all types of highlights that night, but he fails to even make a highlight. Because put it like this, even if all the said and done that was going on last night boxing, this whole week in boxing, right? Right? You couldn't get you a highlight, right? Not only you fought a very boring fight, you ran around the ring, giving pop shots and stuff like that. That's not what fans want to see. Yeah, fans want to see like sweet science and all that stuff. But fans want to see knockouts and running around the ring and playing do-si-do and shit like that. and still getting caught by the slow poke every now and again. And I don't know what Williams team was telling him about how to cut off the ring. He just kept saying, "Go for his chest." That's right there in the Thunder Zone. Just thought the fight was whack. I mean, people can say whatever the hell they want to, but I just thought the fight was whack.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't think it was. Me personally, I think I thought it was a good fight, but I think Andrade. I think that Liam Williams he had no answer. You could see the class above. Obviously, was Andrade, but I think that me personally, Mike, I think they should have stopped that fight. I think Dominic Ingle should have thrown the towel in and stopped the fight because basically, for me, I just thought Liam Williams was a punch bag. He had a couple of good rounds towards the end, but he was just taking unnecessary punishment. He was eating them uppercuts all night from Andrade. Andrade's a great fighter, but I did listen to someone last night, and they said if he fights Charlo, he gets stopped by Charlo, and I totally agree there. I think Jamal Charlo would annihilate him. I wouldn't say annihilate him, but I think Charlo wouldn't mess around like that. I mean, for me, Mike, I give that Williams credit because the lad hung in there, but he just didn't need to. There was no point. He wasn't going to win the fight. He nearly got knocked out in the first round. He got dropped in the second round. He had wobbly legs halfway through the fight several times. But he just had no answer. All he could do was come forward. And I totally agree. I think it was Callie who said it. I was listening to last night. Callie said, I'm sure it was Callie, but he said if Jamal Charlo fights him, he absolutely stops Andrade. And I totally agree. Sheldon Holmes has put, salute to you, Dre's Finest. He's put Andrade is going to be probably get a big fight soon, I believe. I think it'll be Jamal Charlo. To stay at 160, he'll be a damn fool not to make that fight. Yeah. I mean, it's a cracking fight if it happens. Wavy takes put, have you got any thoughts on Jake Paul's fight? No, they're not interested in that shit. Papa Legbers put, Williams looked terrible. Andrade should have put him away. Yeah, he should have put him away. I totally agree with you. But he couldn't put him away, could he? But for me, I watched it up and I said to my son, I said, after round 7, I said, he's corner man, the white flex wheeler, as Porky calls him, Dominic Ingle, he should have thrown the towel in because he just got punished for no reason. That's what I think. But he had no answers for him. Andrade was class, but what do you think if he fights Charlo, Mike?
Who? Andrade?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be able to fight him like that. Doing that stuff, he gonna get caught. And I just think that he chooses to do that with certain people, but I don't think he'd get in there and fight them boys, fight somebody that can actually box like that. All that playing around shit is cool and dandy and all, but eventually, you're gonna have to fight. I know he does it a lot of his other fights and stuff like that, but I'm telling you guys, that's not the only thing he knows. So
yeah,
better realize that real quick that just because he didn't put this guy away, don't mean that he can't put somebody else out or the third. Be real careful, because we heard this with other boxers. They can't box, they can't do this, they can't do that, and they get in the ring and prove people wrong. So
I agree with that.
My thing is with he should have put on a better performance. I mean, not just for the boxing fans, but for his future opponent. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to fucking sit there and fight some boring running around the ring guy right? That's not bringing in any numbers because he either chose not to fight Charlo and go somewhere else and all this other jazz, but you got to fight somebody, man.
Yeah.
Because
Talking to Carl.
I ain't your boy, but when I say that, I be playing around laws. But that's what I heard. Champion must fight champions. This is the third. I was like, so what the fuck you been doing with this guy?
Yeah.
You could have been put him in there with somebody else. Didn't you want to bring up Charlo and downgrade Charlo and say, well,
Kelly's here now.
Yeah, he downplayed him. Because he's talking about his past opponent. And it's like one of those things. Edward Hearn is literally keeping his fighters from people. Literally. And people over here act like they can't see it. But he's literally hiding his fighters from people. Because they're about to lose.
Yeah.
I don't think he really wants that Andrade and Charlo fight. He's a rat. I do think Andrade will get knocked out if he comes into fights like that.
Yeah. Well, just let me read this comment. Callie's here now, actually. If you want to get on, Callie, you're welcome. Salute to you, big snack pack. What did he put? Sheldon Holmes put, Andrade's legs look like a 35-year-old fighter. Yeah, I think he looked toward the second half of the fight. He looked like he was gassing. He looked slow. He looked like he was burnt himself out.
Edward said that too, Laws.
Yeah.
Edward said something about he ain't gonna be able to make 168 or something like that for too long because I guess it's doing something to him. That's what he said.
Yeah, Mike, can you drop the link in the chat? Callie wants to get on, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks, pal. Mickey Dubs put. Oh, he's talking to Callie. I think so. You ain't gonna be able to do shit like that against Charlo. You can't take your foot off the gas pedal against a fighter like Charlo because you're gonna get knocked out. Seriously, that's what I thought. I said to my son, I said when the second half of the fight, I said he looks like he's gassing. I said because he seemed like he put a lot in, and that Williams just kept taking it, and then he seemed like he just towards the last half of the fight he was burning out. You can't do shit like that against someone like Charlo. Not even someone like fucking Canelo. Do you know what I mean? You can't do shit like that against a fighter. I mean, I'm not saying he would do that, but if you can't put fighters like that Williams away, when really you should have put him away,
right?
And you know, the links in the chat if you want to get on, Callie or anyone.
I just think that it was just, but that's what I'm saying is like, I hate to. I mean, we all talk about marketing, which pay-per-views and shit like that. I'd like you guys know I don't give a fuck, but with everything that was said and done at the end of the night last night, it's like you needed to highlight, man, to get your name out there, man.
Exactly.
All those knockouts and just the whole fuckery. Oscar De La Hoya high as some kite. Everybody on Triller smoking weed with Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody on the panel would look like they were smoking weed with Snoop Dogg. It sounded like it. But it was like, how did your fight going to compete with other people's fight that night? Think of like after the fight, right? Where's the buzz? Like nobody gives a fuck. I'm not seeing nothing on Twitter about no Andrade and Williams.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Mike. He like you say, Mike, for him to get a fight with someone like that, or a big pay-per-view fight or a big fight, he needs to be taking care of people. He needs to be taking care of people like Williams. I give Williams credit, because he's stuck in there. But me personally, if I was a trainer, I'd have just said to him, "Nah, fuck, call it off, mate."
But this is just me. See, there was no reason for Andrade to fight this. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is or how these guys get up there. But Williams should never been in the ring with Andrade. I'm just sorry. I don't give a fuck how it happened, what's going on, whatever the case may be. But it should have been in the ring with Andrade. And whoever, whoever how it happened, because think about it. There's other fights that motherfuckers could have made. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I know it's COVID, the stadiums and all that stuff. But somebody could have put a live body in there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He had nothing to offer. What you got to say, Callie?
I mean, it's just like Andrade. He can't look. It's not just Liam Williams, man. Walter Quintonda. I mean, these dudes having troubles with Quat. I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name, man. The brother from Namibia. But look, man, you got to be able to put these dudes away, get these dudes up out of here, man, within a few rounds, man. I mean, it's like Charlo gonna blow away these type of dudes. If Charlo gets someone like Liam Williams hurt, like he did early in the fight in the first round, he gonna get that dude up out of there. That dude is not gonna make it to the second round. The fight's gonna be over. And this dude just doesn't know how to dispatch people, bro. And like this, one of the problems I had with Andrade too was like, dude, go to the body. Dude, you need to go up and stop just pot shotting. Go to the body more. Those body shots were hurting him early in the fight. Then he abandoned that, and he just throwing the same. Like there's no real punch variation on a regular basis from this dude either. He just kind of. I mean, he has those punches from awkward angles and stuff, which is actually good. But I'm watching him, man. Someone like Charlo's gonna catch that dude when he's going out of the back door. He's wide open and get hit. And as Liam Williams just couldn't take advantage of it because he just didn't have the athleticism or the actual ability to do it. But if he fights someone like Charlo Canelo, they're gonna stretch him right there. I'm talking about after when he's spinning away. Yeah. When he spins away, his gloves are down, his head is right there on the straight line. I'm telling you, you're gonna get caught. Yeah. Right then, that's where you time him.
Yeah. I was listening to you last night, Callie, for a bit. I wasn't commentating, but I was listening to you because you came on straight after the fight, and I was like,
right.
I was just saying to Mike then before, I totally agree with what Callie was saying last night. If he fights someone like Charlo, you can't do shit like that against Charlo.
No. Now Charlo will put a more effective pressure on him than Liam Williams was just grabbing and wrestling. His idea was to try to wear him down and it worked to a certain extent. But then, I mean, Andrade was still beating this dude ass, bro. He's just not good enough, bro. He's not good enough, not fast enough, and that athletic advantage. Andrade is special compared to this. Andrade has special skills, but I heard something that St. Cruzan said that he said that he believes that Andrade probably lost his best years in court. I can agree with that, man.
Me too.
I don't think Andrade is. I think the best years. I don't think we're going to see the best Andrade anymore. I think this is the best Andrade you're going to see here. And I think if he gets in the ring with someone on high level, he's going to get hurt, man. Hurt and stopped. And he just. It's sad, bro. This dude was supposed to be a once in a generation fighter, but he could never get it together out of the ring. And because of that, you never got a chance to see the type of Andrade that we were supposed to see. Andrade robbed himself of being the kind of fighter that he should have been. Andrade, the way we talk about Jaron Ennis is the way we were supposed to be talking about Demetrius Andrade. For real.
Yeah. Don't put me in that. Don't put me in that, y'all, because I'm not talking about Jaron Ennis like that. So don't put me in that, y'all.
No, I'm talking about Jaron Ennis like that. I think people are nuts for not seeing. I mean, you can do well. You can go and see what you have your own. Everybody has their own opinion, whatever, man. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, man. I see it. I see what Jaron Ennis is going to be, and by the time him and Earl Spence fight, which is more than likely 3 years down the line, I think it's going to be a massive disadvantage at this point. Where you're talking about a 26 to 27-year-old Jaron Ennis versus a 34 to 35-year-old Earl Spence. I don't like that fight in Spence's favor at that point. But yeah, I don't know why people can't see it from Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is very different. He has better footwork than Demetrius Andrade too.
But that's how boxing is. It's like we can say all we want to about Demetrius Andrade in his past.
Backing him in.
But the thing about
it's going to make me son's dinner.
Like, look who he fought, and then now when we fast forward to right now, and look who these guys fighting. Of course, they're going to look good with those guys. Of course, they can exhibit good footwork. They can exhibit all the guys that have to offer to them when fighting those levels of competition guys. But then when they actually fight competition, which that hasn't really happened as of lately or ever, right? When they actually do fight competition, how they're going to look. That's what I'm waiting to see for. I'm not going to gauge a fighter for fighting a Liam Williams or a Sergi or a Licking Nuts. I'm not going to do that because, you can look good and all that stuff, but you gotta show me some kind of consistency.
Well, he has shown consistency. Let's be honest. Okay, you don't think the Lipinets win is credible, bro? Especially the same Lipinets that had a close fight with Mikey Garcia. So let's not try to act like that Lipinets is not some fight. And he also destroyed. But
the way Mikey Garcia fights, we all know that him losing is what? Inevitable.
Huh?
I don't know.
Repeat what you just said.
I'm gonna believe what I'm believing, and you can.
No, I'm trying to hear what you just said. You said the way that Mike Garcia fights, him losing is inevitable. What are you saying? I'm confused.
It's inevitable.
Can you clear? What do you mean inevitable? I'm trying to clear up who losing. You talking about Lipinets losing? I'm trying to clear what you're saying.
Mike Garcia and Licking Nuts.
You said Mike Garcia and Licking Nuts. You said them losing is inevitable the way they fight.
Yeah,
huh?
I mean, if you don't believe that, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you, but if you don't want to believe it, go ahead. I'm not saying.
You don't think Mike Garcia is a top-notch fighter?
No. Can you hear? Did you hear what I said? I said I'm not saying that he's not a good fighter. I'm saying I just want to see levels of competition and consistency, not just looking at somebody in the ring and saying, "Oh, they look good."
Okay, he just stepped up in class and he beat Lipinets. He's tried to fight higher competition. I like the fact that he's also been busy as well. But hold on, he's going to get an opportunity to fight higher level opposition. And if you don't think that he's going to do well against higher level opposition, you're going to be in for a very be in for a surprise.
Well, like I said, it's like you keep saying that, but like, did you hear what I said? I said I'm not going to call him and say he's not good, but what I want to see is him with steady competition before I sit up over here and put my champion.
But you also understand though too that competition has to want to fight him, right? You know that, right?
No, I'm not. That's not none of my business. That's not none of my business. I'm just putting it to where how I feel and how I see it.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you this right now. He is what he is. He's the truth, bro.
Okay.
There are fighters that you can actually tell.
Yeah.
There are some fighters who stand out above others. Skill sets, the ability. This stuff stands out. That you can tell from other fighters. No, let me finish. I'm talking about you can. Let me finish. You're not gonna let me finish. And then I'm like, gentlemen, you can go ahead and go. We got plenty of time, brother.
No, because
there are skill sets. There are skill sets.
Getting messed up. Like, right. I don't know about all this stuff, or anybody in the chat doesn't know all this stuff. I'm just saying, you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. I'm not putting you down. I'm not putting Ennis down. But what I am saying is that I just want to see the competition, so I can say.
No, I understand, but I just wanted to finish. That's all.
Yeah, but what you're saying, what I said.
Okay, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you can go ahead.
No, bro. You go ahead, bro. I was getting stuff done. Go ahead.
He's over here sweeping the floor because that's just how I see it. We see fighters come and go, look good and come and go. So I'm just saying, now getting the fights ain't none of my business, but hey, when you look good, nobody wants to fight. There we go. Shit. Where Laws go?
Here we go. He's talking about on Lipinets beating up on a smaller dude. Well, he wanted to fight someone smaller. He wanted to fight somebody better. Stomach B, man. He's tried to fight other dudes too. You got to get your opportunities. So if you don't get an opportunity to fight some of these other dudes, you can only fight who's actually available to you. Now, Stormy B, there were people who were saying that Lipinets is going to be a threat. I didn't. I didn't say Lipinets is a threat because I knew it kind of. I know it. Okay, bro, go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
No,
Callie,
I'm saying. I know what I'm saying, but you say you keep like. I understand what you're saying. You like keep interjecting. I'm sorry about that, bro. And keep losing my train of thought. That's why I'm trying to get it out, but whatever, man. I didn't think Lipinets was an actual threat to Jaron Ennis. I didn't. There's other fighters I would like to see him go up against someone like Keith Thurman. I would like to see him. I used to want to see him fight Jose Lopez. He'll beat the shit out of him. I guarantee you, he will beat the shit out of Jose Lopez. Flat-footed dudes cannot give this dude problems. He will beat Verdo Ortiz's ass. Like I keep telling you, I'm gonna say it again. Flat-footed dudes will not give him problems. Period.
Yeah, he looks.
So, and I don't care if you want to, you can disagree with me but you think that they're gonna give him problems. By all means, go ahead. Flat-footed dudes are gonna get the cover torn off their ass if they get in the ring with this dude. This is why Verdo Ortiz's team don't want no smoke. Bro, I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is already saying, nah, that fight is a long way away. What do you mean it's a long way away? It doesn't have to be. That fight can be next.
Yeah.
But we know what time. They know, bro. Matchmakers know. Matchmakers understand this. You know what I'm saying? Matchmakers understand this, man. They understand what type of styles are going to give fighters problems. This we said that with the kind of fighter that Enos is, that's going to give Verdo Ortiz more than just problem. They're going to beat the shit out of him. That's a bad stylistic matchup for him because of the way he pivots and moves around the ring with his footwork. He's not used to dealing with that at all. Mo Hooker,
how old is he, Kelly?
Mediocre to me. And you don't believe it. I had the receipts. I have never been on the Mo Hooker bandwagon. I've always thought that it was mediocre, which is why I told people that Jose Ramirez would stop him.
Yeah. How old is Boots? Is he 23?
Say it again.
How old is Boots? Is he 23?
He's just 23 years old.
Yeah, he's only a young kid, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. And Ortiz is only, 23, 24? Maybe 22. Younger?
22.
Yeah. He's
going to get better, too. This is not saying that Verdo Ortiz I think Verdo Ortiz is going to be a great fighter. I think both kids are going to be Hall of Famers. As long as they stay healthy, I see both kids being Hall of Famers. Both of these kids are going to be elite. But I think that from what I can see, that Jaron Ennis, if he stays healthy, Jaron Ennis is going to be special, once in a generation type of fighter. And I know this drives a lot of. There are some people like, oh, stop saying that. Nope, I don't say this about every fighter. I just don't. I know what I see, and I'm standing on that.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh well, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. We're all wrong. We're all right. Proper leg was put. Ennis is technically very solid, and a crowd pleaser too. With good.
You should send a link. You should have let Stormy B man get on.
Yeah, I've told Stormy if he wants to get on, he's welcome. I think he says he's just got up. I'll send you a link if you want to get on, Storm.
The link is in the chat. I posted again if you need me to.
Yeah, go on then, Mike. Yeah. I mean, these are what I'm saying, Callie. He's a good fighter.
That's why I always leave it out. Injuries can change. It can affect a person's career in any sport or anything. So it's like certain injuries come up, that could change things, and it can also affect the athleticism. So that's why I said as long as he stays healthy, him and Verdo Ortiz, if they stay healthy, they're gonna have great careers. And then that health part, that's no guarantee that your health is gonna hold up. It just isn't. So I hope it does for both kids. I hope that both of their health. I hope their health holds up because they're gonna give us a lot of great fights. over the year. I would just like to see them in the ring together to prove my point. Because then that'll prove the point too that a lot of people are looking for. Like, how is he going to do with somebody who's big and someone who can hit? And when he beat his ass, there'll be people who will still have complaints after like I said, Jaron Ennis beats the shit out of Virgil Ortiz. There'll still be people who will be like, "Oh no, he needs to do more." Always be those type of people. But I would love to see him. And I'm telling you, there are people right now. If Jaron Ennis got a fight with Thurman and stopped him, they will still have complaints. I guarantee you. I'm not saying that the people in the chat room now are saying that, but I'm saying there are people who will never be happy or give people credit because sometimes people just don't like. I get it. I'm gonna tell you why some people don't like Jaron Ennis too, because they feel like he's receiving too much hype. There's that factor. I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think the kid's a hype trade at all. I'm going by with my eyesight.
I don't. I think he's a cracking fighter.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely next world champion potential. Yeah, most definitely. I think he's a cracking fighter. I agree with you, Kelly. I think he's a good fighter.
No, but I heard you guys were talking about Conor Benn too, and I kind of want to speak about that guy.
Yeah, go on.
If Conor Benn can be very, very good too if they move him right. They have to move him in the right direction and allow him to first thing for what I would be doing with Conor Benn is giving him more fights. That's what I would try to. I would try to give him a very, very active schedule.
Yeah.
I would try to, especially with somebody you said, I think he didn't have much of an amateur career. So for me, before I even have him step up in class, before I even have him start to fight certain other fighters, I would like to have him fight like 5-6 times a year, regularly, just to start to build up experience. Be more active, you can start working on things inside of the ring, working on improving his craft, his footwork. You know what I'm saying? It's important for someone like him, for fighters who didn't have an amateur career, to get a lot of professional fights. Even against lower level opposition, it's good for them to start to build up in-ring experience, because it does start to help them develop confidence. And then you start to raise their level of opposition slowly. By doing that, you can actually turn them into a pretty solid fighter, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, this is what I mean. I agree with you. But the thing is, Callie, what's this stupid computer doing? But the thing is, Callie, what Dre's put, I love Conor Benn too. Yeah, the thing is, Callie, what my gripe is with him is I've watched Conor Benn. I probably haven't missed any of his fights, and if I have, it hasn't been many. I've seen him come through. He signed with Sky, and then because of his dad's got a famous name, they're moulding it. I don't like what they're doing with him. They're moulding him into this fighter who he's not. He's not there yet. Do you know what I mean? But I've just had EJ Boxing on. He made some great points. The way how the pay-per-view is now, you know, he's not going to take fights like David Anavician or Florian Marku or fighters like that, because there are risks that he could get stopped. So I understand that, but I don't know, mate. I just don't like the way how the guy's attitude is now. I'm pay-per-view and I'm this and I'm that. But you haven't beaten anyone. You haven't beaten anyone. And I don't want him to become that manufactured marketing matchroom fighter. Do you know what I mean? Who's carefully chose his.
You talking about match well, and he's looking like a straight killer, but he's not really fighting anybody. He's fighting guys that are basically put in there to be knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. And now Eddie's saying, "Oh, he's pay-per-view." No, you're not pay-per-view, because you haven't beaten anyone to be a pay-per-view star. And he's going on about, oh, I want a test. I want a real test. Bring it on. Bring it on. But, right, David Anavician, go and fight him. The guy who stopped Josh Kelly. Because I'm telling you now, Kelly, if he slips across the pond and goes and fights the likes of Virgil Ortiz, definitely Boots, he's going to get put back in on his mattress and sent back over here. But you know it, and I know it. He ain't going to be fighting them type of fighters. That's what I think anyway. People think I hate him and I go and I'm dogging him all the time. But what I'm saying, Cal, is I've been up and down Facebook for over the last few weeks arguing with these fucking clowns over here who are saying, "Oh yeah, he's the next best thing. He's this, that, and the other." I can't say he's the next best thing because I haven't seen him fight anyone yet. He's been fighting fucking stiffs and people who were washed up. Like Papa Legbury, he'll tell you. Josh Kelly's another hype job. Worst. See, he knows. He knows. I think he's from over here. He knows, like me. Like you know, and that. But there's people over here who are bumping these fighters up to be what they are, and they haven't done anything yet. Stormy's put those are exactly the fighters he needs to fight, Losdy. Yeah, exactly, Stormy. Exactly, bro. And then when he's done that, then I'll start saying, yeah, he's beaten some decent fighters. Now he's a pay-per-view star, or now I'll back him and say, yeah, he's this roadman killer, or whatever he's trying to make out he is. You haven't fought anyone to be that. But yeah, what's he put? But you're going at it regardless just because of who his dad is. Look at what. No.
But maybe he doesn't want to be anything more than British level. I mean, if that's cool, if that's the case.
No. Mike, I can't hear you, mate. You're muffling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's like, I don't see how folks can get like you're pissing on them. It's just some truthful ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to fucking see these young cats talking about being a pay-per-view star right now. Especially when you ain't fought nobody. Like, nobody wants to fucking pay for pay-per-views anyways. Nobody is going out here talking about I can't wait to spend $25, $75 or whatever for a pay-per-view fight. Nobody's going around fucking doing that shit, talking about some hip parade. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. If I was Conor Benn,
facts, Mo.
If I was Conor Benn, I would be trying to find, some cross training because, being this young and stuff like that, and not getting any cross training, which basically means is going to different gyms and sparring different people, get learning stuff from different trainers from all around the world and stuff like that. Because you ain't getting no cross training, man. You essentially, you're not doing yourself any justice.
Yeah. Just let me read this comment quick. Lost One's put, you're not pissing on him, but what I'm saying, just because who his dad is, people will hype him up no matter what. Yeah, I agree there, Lost One. I agree with you there, bro. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But what I'm saying, Lost One, is people over here now, because he beat a washed up Samuel Vargas and destroyed him in a few seconds in the first round, a guy who's coming off 3 defeats in his last 5 fights, just because he's been in with Errol Spence Jr., just because he's been in with blah, 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 and blah, 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 doesn't mean that this guy was a killer. What I'm saying, Lost One, is people now over here are hyping him up to be this. He's this next star. He's proved his point because he beat Samuel Vargas, who had been in with Errol Spence Jr. and he'd been in with someone else who couldn't stop him. And no, that's bullshit. The guy was coming off 3 losses out of his last 5 fights. He's not saying he's washed up, but you can't call this guy a killer when he's fighting bums. He fought that was it Piernard or Piernat, whatever his name was, and he got fucking put on his arse, and he went life and death with him. He nearly got stopped. That's what I'm saying. When he's fighting proper opponents who aren't there to get hit and lie down, then I'll start calling him I'll start giving him the credit what he deserves. But at this moment in time, for me to give that young man credit, I'm not buying into it until he goes either across the states and fights an up-and-coming prospect like Ortiz, or he fights someone like that David Anavisian over here and proves me wrong. That's what I'm saying. Well, salute to you, bro. But Mo Boxing said it best. He's starting now to live off, well, he's living off people. I wouldn't say he's doing it, but people over here are making him, are saying he's living off his dad's name. Do you know what I mean? He's this next thing, like his dad. How do you know? His dad took a chance. That's one thing I can say. His dad did take a chance. He wasn't scared of mixing it with the best. But the way I've seen Conor Benn now putting himself out there this week, he's like, I'm the next best thing since sliced bread. But to me, you're not until you prove to me that you go and fight a top fighter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he should put him in there with Ray Robinson.
Yeah, Alex has just said that. Alex has just said the same thing. Put him in with Ray Robinson. Whoever he just said. Lost one, but that's what happened.
Yeah, somebody who's going to be there and give him some work. Is someone who's going to someone who's not there to lay down. That'll be somebody who's durable. He needs to definitely get in there with somebody a little bit more durable.
Yeah,
and that'll help him out. But I would even say, I mean, if he thinks he's ready, I'm not one of those people who likes blocking fights, bro. If they think they're ready, put them in there.
Yeah,
see, this is why I differ for a lot of people. A lot of other people be like, oh no, he's not ready now. He said he's ready. Put him in there. Facts. I have no problem. I'm not here to protect fighters. Now I'm not getting paid. So if they think they can beat certain dudes, put them in there.
Yeah, I agree. Like I say, Cali Porter did a great interview. It's on YouTube with Sky. If you ever catch it, just watch it. It's on YouTube. Porter did it this week, and he's without being nasty. Porter just said, "Listen, man, don't jump ahead of yourself. You haven't done anything yet. There's a lot more to go. You're still young. You're still growing. Just calm your ass down. Do you know what I mean?" But this is what I'm saying. Lost ones, but that happens with every fighter's son who gets into. No, lost one. Listen, bro, I'm not falling out with you, but it's because of people like you who go along with this shit. What I'm saying, I'm not saying like you, but what I'm saying is, I don't know, mate. Yeah, basically, I ain't falling for the bullshit. I ain't falling for the bullshit like I did with Chris Eubanks. I didn't fall for the bullshit until he's proven someone. And then, like Eubanks, when he stepped up and fought fighters like Billy Joe Saunders, and he fought the guy who Carl Froch knocked out, he come unstuck against him. I think Conor is decent, but he's better stay away from them top dogs. Facts. Like I say, I seem like a hater of him, but I don't hate the guy. I think he's a good fighter, but I just think he needs to do more before he starts to go around saying that he's this killer who he is, who he just isn't. That's what I'm saying.
You know, it'd be a good fight for him. Adrian Granados too would also be another good fight for him.
Exactly. That is a good fight, actually, Kelly. That is a good fight.
Now, you get tested. I mean, the Granados is durable, man. So this is somebody who's not going away. Somebody's going to give him work. He's going to return fire. Let's see it. I mean, those are the kind of fights that he needs in order to grow as a fighter as well. You need to get in there with dudes who are durable, but you need to see minis. You need to see multiple. You need to see a lot of different styles, man. You can't fight one style and improve. You got to get in there with dudes who can match you in your attributes, or can actually who's more athletic. In some cases, some dudes may not more like Jerron Enos is going to be hard to find someone more athletic than him. But what I'm talking about as far as Conor Benn is very athletic. He needs to get in there with somebody though who can move and give him angles, frustrate him a little bit. Maybe you don't want to put him there.
That's what I'm saying, Callie. That's what I'm saying, mate. What you're saying. That's exactly. Sorry, Callie, to cut you off.
No, go for it.
No, I was just saying that's all I'm trying to say, Callie. I want to see him fight someone who's gonna, like you've just said, someone who's gonna hit him back, someone who's not gonna stand there and just get it, and then I want to see more of him because I do believe he will be a good fighter. I just want to see more, like you say. Gil Coles has put, "I'm just Benn making a name for himself. He just needs to step up in competition." Exactly, Gil. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I was saying is like the step of competition is good and all and Danny, but but if I was around him, I'd tell him straight up. I would tell him straight up, it's like, man, we need to go around here and do maybe a tour all around the world and see what kind of gyms we could get up in as far different guys because just getting in the ring alone, and stepping up is right now it's doomed for failure. Like
yeah,
people could say how I'm just a hater and stuff like that, but the guy, he's young, he needs some work. And what kind of I mean, come on, let's be real. Let's be real, Laws. It's like
excellent comment off Bruce Groves.
Look what the fuck Derek Chisora is doing. He found him a new trainer, but he waited too long. You know what I'm saying? He waited too fucking long to finally get somebody who could train, right? And a lot of these guys, like in the UK, it seems like everybody's content with just having this one fucking trainer and this one fucking style. You can't have that in boxing or any combat sport. Alone. You have to learn how to fight different people. You got to learn how to fight with different styles. And if he ain't doing that, he's doomed for failure. I don't care how many fights he has.
Mate, Mike, I heard a channel say that same thing this week. I heard a channel say the same thing this week. He said he's going to be his own worst enemy if he's not careful. I heard a channel say the exact same thing what you're saying, Mike. He said the same thing. I'm going to read the comment what Bruce Groves put. He put an excellent comment. He put, "We've seen this before with Chavez Jr. and back with Joe Frazier's son Marvin. We expect too much from their sons of great fighters, and it doesn't usually work out. Facts, Bruce Groves." Kenneth Johnson's put, Bruce Groves salute and facts. Joe Frazier almost got his son really hurt bad. Yep. I remember Frazier getting knocked out, getting stopped off Mike Tyson. Gil Coles put, Virgil needs to show more so than Boots. I personally think Boots is ready, and if Virgil thinks he is, let's see it. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd love to see that. But Mike, yeah, you're right. What you were saying, bro. That's what I'm going to have to get up out of here in a minute. But yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not hating on the guy, and I'm really not hating on the guy. But I just want to make it clear out there that there is fighters over here who are on this soil who are willing to fight you. So Conor, Benn, my advice is what I'm saying. I don't like people who punch above the weight when they haven't shown me anything to punch above their weight. If you get what I mean. When I see him beat somebody who's worth shouting about, then I'll jump on the hype train. But until now, I ain't on that hype train. But
I mean, that's just how it is, Laws. Like it's like people are always going to take what you got to say as it being negative. I mean, because it doesn't suit their narrative. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's like right now the dude, like you said, he shouldn't be worried about no pay-per-view. He should be worried about getting better. He should be worried about who is he going to fight next, whether or not how many tickets and how many views he's going to sell. Because he's like the dude you talked about, like he could be his own nightmare, his own worst enemy. If he fucking, look, all you gotta do is just look in front of you. Look in front of you and look to see where everybody else fucked up at. Or where they could have done better at.
Yeah, but Mike,
in the gym, it all starts in the gym.
Yeah, but Mike, people like me, you, and Callie, if we speaking like this, we're haters. That's what I get told all the time. You're a hater. You don't know anything about boxing. I probably don't know a lot about boxing, but I've been around the block long enough to see people come unfolded when they've been hyped up to be something that they're not, and people who believe in their own hype, and then when they get in the ring with someone who can actually fight, they get folded up. You know, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about it. I don't like the way how the man's attitude is conducted now because he beat a washed up Samuel Vargas. Now he's believing in his own hype himself that he is. So maybe he is. I don't know. But until I see him fighting half decent opponents who are gonna give him a run for his money or who are gonna hit him back, then I can say, yeah, the guy's got he's got something about him. But at this moment in time, I'm just seeing him bowling over stiffs and washed up fighters. Gil Cole's put hating Loz. No, I'm not. I've seen it before, you know. A prime example. Prince Naseem Hamid, right? I always liked Naz. I thought he was a great fighter. I thought he had a great character. He was arrogant and shit like that. But at the same time, a part of me hated him because I knew once he went up against someone who could fight, who could move, someone who could find the angle, someone who could cut the ring off and stuff like that, someone who could measure his body at a distance, I knew he was going to come unstuck. And he did. I won 60 quid all them years back by betting on that when he fought Barrera, I knew Barrera would beat him. And he did. But at the same time, I did like Nazar. He was like Marmite. I either hated him or you love him. But yeah, that's where I was going with it anyway. Listen, I'm going to have to get up out of here because it's like nearly half five in the afternoon. Nearly half five. It's 4:30 in the afternoon. I've got a few things to do. But I appreciate everyone coming through. Gil Coles, Bruce Goes, Mo Boxing, Kenneth Johnson, Rob Sportsman's Lead, Dre Finest, Lost One. Everyone who come through, IML Will, Alex Santos, everyone, Stormy B Man. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother, as always. And Callie, absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming through, bro. I think Callie's gone. You still there, Callie?
Yeah, where you go?
I don't know. But I want thanks, Bruce Ghost. But I'm going to get up out of here. Smash the like button on the way out if you ain't done it, because it would help. But I'm going to say have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace to you all. Peace.